One of the all-time great moments of my career, King Mo lets me go into the locker room after he wins the belt against Gegard Mousasi. Ryan Parsons opens the door for us. He's lying on the ground. He says he can't walk. He says his whole life he was second fiddle. His whole life he was the bridesmaid, and he finally won one. King Mo Lawal. Do you remember that moment?
Yes, absolutely.
Why is that event notable? What happened on that card?
Well, probably for multiple things, but Mo won the championship that night.
No, that's not why. Dan Henderson, Jake Shields, main event.
Okay.
What happened after it?
Oh, that was the fight with Mayhem.
Yes.
Well, these things happen in MMA.
These things happen in MMA. Shout out Gus Johnson.
By the way, poor Gus Johnson. That wasn't the most ridiculous thing to say. And not to mention he was live and trying to cover in a little bit of shock. But even aside from all that, that wasn't all that bad of a thing to say. Like, it's kind of explaining. It's kind of a rough guy business, and we made a mistake getting them both in there. And, I thought Gus's hands were totally clean on that, and to this day, he still gets teased. Inaccurately. Gus did nothing wrong.
I would also say when talking about Izzy versus Romero, these things happen in MMA.
Sure.
You get a stalemate.
Sure.
Right? No big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. You know, Gus Johnson's the legend in the world of broadcasting, right? Like, he is revered. But in our sport, people take shots at him. I don't think it's fair. Never thought he got a fair shake.
No, it's tough. It's tough in this sport. I mean, they don't like outsiders for some reason.
Yeah.
Stephen A. went through that. I mean, just even a tiny bit. But there's been other people that have come over and then they get messed with. Kurt Menefee kind of met with a little resistance and then welcomed it. But I'm just saying there's some kind of a proving ground.
Yeah.
And I don't really know what it is. I don't really know what the rules are or who sets them up. I mean, I guess the kids on the underground. But it's still a real thing. It's a phenomenon either way.
At times, it feels like this sport is like, oh, we were watching it back in 1993 in our parents' basement, and you can't come in because you're a Johnny Come Lately. That's not fair.
Right.
Be inclusive. Isn't it the martial arts way? Inclusive, not exclusive.
Yes.
So welcome people in. Who cares?
I fully agree with that. It is almost a bizarre thing. Yeah, even when a referee moves up or a new judge gets up, I mean, you always feel this thing where it's like, okay, what exactly rigmarole do you think they have to go through? What do they call that in the fraternity system? Hazing. What hazing needs to take place as a member, as an acceptance to the club? I've never really got that either. We want to be mainstream. Don't you dare do anything to make us mainstream.
Right. They
confused.
complain about the fact that they don't get coverage, and then when they get the coverage, oh, he mispronounced Izzy's name. He said this, that. Get over yourself.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's like Paul Blart. The second wasn't as good as the first.
Sure.
But it was still good.
Right.
Some great cameos.
Right.
Some great acting.
Mall Cop.
2.
Rated PG.
So right before I go on the air, I always say Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, in theaters now, rated PG. Why do I say this? Because the first time that I ever hosted for Fox, I had to repeat that line maybe 6 times in and out of every commercial break. And it was such a tongue twister, and I was so nervous doing it, it just kind of stuck with me as a good way to prepare my tongue for going on television.
Paul Blart Mall Cop. Wow, that is
a tough
hard.
one. I had to keep repeating it.
Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. Whoa, that is a tongue twister.
Now.
Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
No.
Yeah, I got to pause.
Paul Blart.
Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. Coming to theaters now.
In theaters now, rated PG.
Wow.
See?
I did not know this was hard. I've heard you say it for like 4 years as a way of warming yourself up.